It seems like we the people just fell out of the sky for us, and that was my seed to plant that I can grow and empower these kids. I think we can do as well as or better than them. We're just as smart as they are, and we can learn the same stuff they're learning and discuss it in depth.
I think we can do as well as them. We have a lot more to learn, but I think we can do just as well as them. I think we're all pretty much the same.
In August 2010, at James Madison's Montpelier in Virginia, an intense 4-day workshop took place with the express purpose of devising a way to bring the Center for Civic Education's We the People, the Citizen and the Constitution program into schools for the deaf across the country.
This truly is about power. It's about empowering your students. And I think through the study of the Constitution, that is possible.
We've been working this weekend with teachers from the deaf schools of 6 different states. And it's been quite a weekend. It's been an eye-opener for myself, looking at the struggles that these students go through and how they may not have that political voice that they should have.
The founders of Civication Incorporated, Ken Hurley and Devorah Ben-Moshe, joined forces with Robert Lemming, the national director of the We the People program. Together, they've created the Justice is Also Deaf project.
Civication is a nonprofit organization that Devorah Ben-Moshe and myself, Ken Hurley, have started about 2 years ago with the mission to bring people together to learn, discuss, and debate the Constitution of the United States of America, to understand what it means to be an American, what it means to have civic learning and to have civil responsibility.
This summer when I was asked to go to the program, it was the last minute for me. I was a fill-in for somebody else, and I, honest to God, didn't know a clue what this program even was. By the time I was done, I was on fire. This is the type of stuff we have to have for our kids. They have to be empowered and to be the next leaders in the deaf community.
The goal was not only to initiate the We the People program in schools for the deaf, but also to come up with a way to preserve and even enhance the program's signature event, the simulated congressional hearing. In a typical hearing, a group of students testify before a panel of expert judges about constitutional issues. After testifying, the judges have an opportunity to question the students and challenge their positions. It was ultimately determined that having the deaf students testify to a panel of deaf judges using only ASL, American Sign Language, and with no interpreters was the best way to preserve the spontaneity, excitement, and flow of ideas within the hearings.
With one session, we had it done only in ASL with no interpreters, which was an absolutely wonderful experience. And the ease of communication and the depth of communication was not hindered by trying to make it accessible and using interpreters. And that's what we're looking for, is the deep thinking, the critical thinking that goes on with these issues.
Having barely started the We the People program, students from the Indiana School for the Deaf were able to attend an actual middle school hearing competition and get their first look at how the hearings work.
Mr. Borkowski explained everything to us, but it didn't make any sense until we came here to see what it looks like. So now we can be better prepared for when we go to DC, which I'm really excited for.
Some of the things were really fascinating. I want to hurry up and learn more about it so I can be ready for our competition.
We're going to be competing against other deaf schools, and we'll be able to sit with deaf lawyers and deaf judges, and that'll be interesting.
I think we can do just as well as them, maybe even better than them if we study and do a good job. I think we can do just as well, if not better than them.
A lot of people might think we wouldn't be able to do it as well as them. But I think with how we learn and how we answer questions, we'll show that we're as good as anyone else. Because these deaf students, when they leave ISD, they need to go out into the world and be ready to be leaders. They have to be. You can't just sit back and play Xbox all the time. You've got to be the leaders of the deaf community from here on out. Because nowadays, deaf issues are controversial. They're big issues. These are our future leaders, and I'm just thrilled to be able to work with them.
As 2011 begins, students in schools for the deaf across the country prepare for their own simulated congressional hearings as they continue to learn about the Constitution and their rights and obligations as citizens.